last topic, and I know this has been a very insightful chat. Just the whole Canelo Golovkin thing, because I know you promoted Canelo. Are you surprised about what's going on with the money split?
Yeah, I'm surprised, but I'm surprised and I'm not surprised. Unfortunately, in boxing, and not only in boxing, but I think particularly in boxing, but in other sports and in other walks of life as well, people get too caught up on counting how much the other guy makes. And you should never do that. You should never worry how much the other guy makes. You shouldn't worry about percentages, frankly, because if you want to go and buy a coffee or you want to go and buy a car, you're not going to pay in percentages, you're going to pay in dollars. What do I mean by that? I understand the current deal on the table is 65-35. If that's in fact the case, maybe the fair thing would be you go 60-40 and you call it a day. But let's just say it's 65-35. So if you have 35%, talk about Golovkin now, this 35% probably represents $20 million or more. What other fight can you do where, let's say, is there a fight where you end up making 90% or 100%? And it makes more than 20 million? No. The next closest, you're probably going to make $2, $3, $4 million. And yeah, you get a bigger percentage piece of the pot. You get 80% maybe of if you fight somebody else, or you might even get 90%. But that 90% only represents $3 or $4 million. I rather have 35%, which represents $20 million, because if you're gonna wanna go and buy a house or a car, or some food, or take your girlfriend or wife out for dinner, you're not gonna go and pay in percentages, you pay in dollars. And the same is true for Canelo. You know, he wants 50%. If he makes 50% or he makes 40%, does it really matter? Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. Because the fact is, his 50% or his 40% are maybe going to be $40 million. And is there a fight where he can make $40 million? The truth is not, you know. And not only is there no fight where you can make that kind of money, you will actually let your fans down. If you suddenly go and fight Spike O'Sullivan or David Lemieux, some of those things, you're gonna start turning the fans against you. Not only you're gonna have a very disappointing pay-per-view, you're gonna turn the fans against you, and you're gonna make substantially less money. So hey, you know what? Take the 40%. Agree to 60-40, and you, Golovkin, agree to 40%. You, Canelo, you know, agree to that, and let's get the fight done. Because for the sport, the two biggest fights you can make today in the sport, you know, are probably Golovkin and Canelo and Wilder, Joshua and Wilder, and both of those fights seem to be like a bit, you know, up in the air. So if we as a sport cannot deliver the two biggest fights, you know, then who is it going to hurt? It's going to hurt the credibility of us, the sport. I mean, us, the sport, I mean all of us. The promoters, the media, the networks, the fighters, because, you know, just you start chipping away on the credibility of the sport and on the patience of the fans. So I always believe fights are here to be made. Let's make them, and for the fighters, put the money in the bank.
I agree. I share that sentiment. Richard, thank you so much, man. Great chatting with you. Very insightful interview here with Richard Schaefer. We're in Los Angeles. Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV.